record on this. Okay, there we go. I got it going. All right, I figured it out. All right, so we're going to start the general meeting. Um, so Jan, where is Jan? There's Jan. She's right underneath me, and there she is. Hi, Jan. You need to unmute yourself, and she wants to talk about carnivorous plants.
Sure.
You're up.
So thank you very much, Steve. Um, I am in the process of ordering plants for our spring plant sale, which I'm assuming you're going to talk about later, Steve. Yes or
Yes, we are
not?
going to talk about
Yes.
the
Okay.
spring sale. Yes, we are.
Okay. So one of the categories of plants that we're getting in is from one vendor for the carnivorous plants, which are the pitcher plants. And he's going to pot them up for us, but he's going to ship them dormant. He says they'll do much better if he ships us dormant plants and we grow them out before the sale. And so I asked him what kind of conditions we need to grow them out, and he said room temperature. But here's the problem. I'm currently in Arizona. Don't want to brag, but here's my sunny day, beautiful day outside. And
Well,
I am not in
at least
Minnesota.
Ann and Dick have the decency not to be on their lanai while they're watching this from Hawaii. Okay, back. Sorry, Jan.
Okay, that's all right. So I will not be in Minnesota to receive this package, which is coming in mid-March. So we want them about 6 weeks from the time we get them. They should be perfect for the sale. So we're getting 100 plants in a couple boxes, but I calculated because they're only in 4-inch pots. That means I need about 10 to 12 square feet. So one table, like a 2 by 6 foot table, would be able to store all these plants. And again, so the conditions that they need to be grown out would be from mid-March until the first week in May, when we're going to bring them over to the plant sale. And what you need for the first 4 weeks is just room temperature. They could be in a closet for all we care, just to get them started. And then the last 2 weeks, they need some sunshine. So sunny window or grow lights. Room temperature. So 6 weeks, mid-March to first week in May. I need some room temperature. In the last 2 weeks, I need some light conditions. They also need to be watered with only distilled water, but you can easily buy that at the grocery store. We'll reimburse you for costs for distilled water, or if you happen to have rainwater, that would work too. But that's kind of what I'm looking for. If somebody would be willing to have these plants shipped to them in mid-March and let us know that you can take care of them. We'll take care of transporting them from your house to the sale. We'll figure that out somehow. But all I need is somebody with some room temperature conditions and 2 weeks of sunshine right before Mother's Day. And if you would be willing to do that, if you could call or email me, I can be emailed at the MWGS@comcast.net, or call me, and I'm in the directory. I would very much appreciate it. Otherwise, we're going to have to punt about where they're shipped to. So hopefully somebody can raise their hand and say, yes, they'd be willing to do that.
Okay. So, like I say, like Jan says, if there's anybody that can help us out, please get a hold of Jan via email or call her cell phone, which is in the directory. So, all right. Is that it, Jan?
That's it. Thank you.
All right. As long as we're talking about plants, let's talk about the spring sale. There will be a spring sale. In what form it's going to take is still fluid as to we will be at the state fairgrounds. Exactly where at the state fairgrounds, we're not quite sure. The Friends School of Minnesota has already been notified that they cannot use the grandstand. They're moving them to the midway. Um, we're working with the Friends, and Friends is trying to get a answer from the state fair as to whether or not we can move over into the midway area with them, or we have to put up some kind of a barricade and we'll be in the midway, but we'll have to have a separate entrance so that right now it's in flux. There will be a sale. Jan is getting our plants ordered. We will be there. We're either going to be on the midway grounds with the Friends, or we're going to be somewhere close by, um, whether it be in the Adventure Park is where they had all their vendors, the food vendors and all the people that were selling all their stuff. Um, the Friends is not going to have that portion of it this year, so we might be able to take over Adventure Park. I'm still waiting to hear from the state fair people. I've left several voicemails and I have yet to get anybody to respond. Um, the Friends
And
School is
just
also
one comment, Steve, that one of the reasons why the Friends are moving is because of the uncertainty about the Minnesota regulations about how many people per indoor space. So they're
correct.
trying to plan it with current restrictions, which is outdoor space. That doesn't really change for us because we've been outside the whole time and we have our own tents and all that. So,
Exactly.
we will plan on being outside just like we did every other year. We'll be at the state fair just like we did every other year, but perhaps a new location, which we're still kind of working out. And
Right. We're either going to be in the midway with the Friends School, or we're going to be close enough to where we have been the last couple of years. It's not going to make that big of a difference. It's logistics and getting the state fair people to answer our questions and getting the guidelines from the state to figure out what they want to do. They get this vaccine rolled out, and maybe this is all mute at, who knows. But as of right now, that's where we stand. But I want everybody to know we are going to have a spring sale. We are going to be out the state fair grounds somewhere. And so the Friends School is planning on having their sale also. Um, did find out there won't be any catalogs sent out. The Friends just can't justify the cost of printing a catalog, so it's going to be all online. So as you can see, poor Marla is um, ducking her head because we're gonna have to put our catalog up on our website. So um, it's going to be a lot of work for Marla and um, Mary, but we'll get it done. So our catalog will be up on our website as to what plants we're going to have. So Marla and Jan are going to work together and get that figured out.
It's still
Any
Mother's Day for sure.
Say that again, Marla?
It's still Mother's Day weekend for sure.
Yes,
Date.
yes, it will be Mother's Day weekend. Yes.
there is one little caveat too. If if at the time of the sale that they're still severely limited even in number of people per outdoor space, one of the things the Friends folks were contemplating was expanding the days and hours. So rather than starting Thursday evening for volunteers, they were talking about perhaps starting Wednesday evening for volunteers and having longer hours on Saturday and Sunday, which would mean significantly more volunteer hours for our own folks if that kind of, if
Also
we end up
Thursday and
following
Friday.
them. Oh yeah, that would
Yeah,
be all day. Then
they
it would
they
be
were
all
gonna
day
they're
Thursday.
gonna expand. They will have a all day Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday sale, and they will be expanding their hours,
Yeah,
starting earlier in the morning and going later in the evening. So
right. So, I'm assuming that we can still kind of decide if we want to follow the exact same hours they have or not, but that's also one of those open questions right now.
So free up your calendars for Mother's Day weekend, folks. We need a lot of you to volunteer to help us out. Anybody else have any other questions regarding the spring sale? Okay. As we get information, we are going to provide it, and whether it be in a newsletter um, or at our general meetings, as we get more information, I will keep everybody informed as to what's going on. As you can see, we are going back to having our water log monthly this year. So if anybody has any kind of an interesting article they would like to see printed or reprinted in our water log, please get that information to Jan at the
Yes, and I want to thank Marty and Diane Latham both for giving me ideas. The article that came out this month about the oldest koi came from Marty, and Diane has a suggestion for next month. I need that information early because I can't just reprint stuff without permission. So I do have to get permission from the sources, which I'm working on doing. But I thought they were fun articles. So if you again, if you have some ideas, give that to me. And I'm for everybody else who has things due for the water log, that's due this week. So I'm have a deadline of this Wednesday coming up for all the rest of you to get your stuff in for the February water log. Thank you.
that will be me, yes. And thank you for doing my president's post for January, Jan. As you guys all read, I did contact the COVID, and I wasn't doing the best there for a while. So, but I think I have recovered. So we'll be back writing my article. So, and thanks to everybody who kind of filled in and helped out with adding some additional articles to the water log for January. All right. That's for the state fair, and everybody who knows they need to put in their articles. That has to be in by Wednesday. So, spring and fall picnics. I don't know how many people are aware, but Star Plat has, and Marv used to do that. They did it for many, many years. Star had a fantastic opportunity to move back to her hometown in Nebraska to be real close with her family, which she took advantage of. So Star has moved, and Star is with us, even though she doesn't have her camera on. Star is with us. She could unmute herself if she wants to say hi. To Sydney, Nebraska, I believe is where she moved to, her hometown.
Yes, it's in Sydney, Nebraska. I'm actually only about 300 miles from Denver.
Okay. So we are going to need some new volunteers to take over planning and running both our spring and fall picnics. The spring picnic usually is the weekend after the Mother's Day sale. And we hold that out at the state fairgrounds. What that entails is probably purchasing whatever the main course. I think we've had brats for years and years. Getting people to donate snacks. The coordinator does the brats. I do have the grill. We can get a thing, the propane to run
tank?
it. Yeah, propane tank. Thank you, Star. But the coordinator is responsible for doing the okay. You got something, James, but I'm not sure what it was. Okay. They coordinate getting the sodas and waters and basically the main course. It's always been a kind of a potluck as far as what people bring for snacks, or if they have something they want to donate for drinks and stuff. Fall picnic is the fall picnic is the brats. The spring picnic is at the Roseville picnic grounds in Roseville. Again, it's just a coordination. the spring picnic is getting the coffee, sodas, water, and everybody at the spring picnic is a potluck where they bring things to share. So we just need somebody to coordinate the spring and fall picnics. We really need somebody to step up to do that for us. We also need new pond tour coordinator. And that doesn't have to be one person. That could be 2 or 3 people who can get together and plan the pond tour. With that, Marla and Pauline Danielson have a great system in place. We wouldn't expect you to reinvent the wheel, but basically it's fine, talking to members, getting 10 or 12 people to volunteer their pond to be on the pond tour, and then figuring out how they want to set up the tour, where we start, where we finish. Jim Kirchner is going to take over setting up the bus tour that's for their members only, from Jim Glator. So that is taken care of. We just need a couple people to step up to be the pond tour coordinator, which is one of the largest, if not larger, what is the word I'm thinking of, Jan? Moneymaker.
Fundraiser.
Fundraiser, thank you. Fundraiser. See, I knew. See, there's other people. It's the largest fundraiser that we have for our group. We did a virtual pond tour last year. It was very well received. It was a lot of fun, but we do need to get back to creating some funds for our group. We're not even close to being insolvent. So, but we do need to have our fundraisers to keep this club vibrant as we are. So we do need to get that pond tour up and running this year. I'm thinking with the vaccine, we'll be able to do it this year. And as long as our fundraiser for our spring sale. But we do need some people to step up and be the coordinator for the pond tour. We need coordinator for the spring picnic and the fall picnic. We were also looking for a logo merchandising person, but somebody has already stepped up and taken that task on for us. Yes, Marla, go ahead.
With regards to the pond tour, if people would start thinking now about if they could host the tour at their ponds, it would be helpful for the person coming in to already have some volunteers that step up, because that's one of the hardest jobs, is contacting everybody.
Yeah.
Being volunteer.
I believe we were in the center quarter for ponds last year, Marla. Do you remember who? I'll get a hold of Pauline and find out which, because they have broken up the metro area into 4 sections. You have the north, east, southeast, northwest, and southwest.
Well, last year we went south. The last time we had face-to-face tours, we went south.
Okay.
So it would probably be more north, and I'm maybe more east. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'll get a hold of Pauline and find out, but we really need somebody to step up and take on that responsibility. You don't have to be on the board. We just need somebody with some good organizational skills who's willing to talk to members in these quadrants to find out if they'd be willing to be on the pond tour. Marla and Pauline are great resources. They've both have said they will answer any type of questions that you have. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. It's already been invented. We just need somebody to spin it for us. Okay.
And I am glad to keep taking on the ticket sales, so that.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to do ticket sales. Marla said she will do that. Let's see. Am I talking to Mary or am I talking to Gary? I got a text message, so I'm trying to find out. Gary, okay. Gary said he would be happy to be on the pond tour, But until there's more certainty about the COVID safety, especially for those who are high risk, it's too uncertain. So as we get closer, we do have, Gary said would be willing to be on the pond tour. So there we go. We have one person who's willing to be on the pond tour.
It's Gary.
Gary DeGrand.
Okay.
I'm sorry. So if they're up in this area, I'd probably be willing to be on the pond tour again, but I'm with Gary until we know more as to how this vaccine is rolled out and if we have it cooking by July. I would be on the pond tour, but only if, you know, the vaccine is being pushed out. So with that, does anybody have questions? Anybody have comments? Everybody should be able to unmute themselves. I believe I set it up so everybody could unmute themselves. Oh, one other thing
Sarah.
before we get with that. February's general meeting, the board made a decision. It will be a Zoom meeting. Marty is trying to get a hold of Bachman's, his contact at Bachman's, to find out when they are going to open up the Heritage Room to hold meetings again. So as of right now, plan on February general meeting being on Zoom. Sarah, you had a question or something.
Well, actually, I just wanted to say that I could take those plants for, that are being delivered for storage. I
Okay,
think I have the space.
you have a
All right,
directory?
thank you, Sarah. Are you actually in the directory?
I think I am.
I got it right here. Hold on. I'll see if I have your information. Otherwise, I'll get it before you go hang up.
Okay, that would be awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Yes, I have your information. I will call you then later.
Yeah, I
Thank you,
consolidated some of my aquariums. So now I've got space.
All right, great. Thank you.
And we also have a third person, Mel, let me get back to this. Mel Bowman is offered to be on the pond tour. She has over 2 acres, so I think we could social distance at her house, no problem. She lives in Western Wisconsin, but that's not a problem. So we have 3 ponds for anybody who's willing to take on the pond tour coordinator job. And then Sarah and Jan will get together and Sarah can do those. So what fish do you have in your aquarium behind you, Sarah? I keep seeing over your shoulder. I'm jealous. I love the size of your
I've got
tank.
koi.
Pardon?
I have koi.
Oh, koi. Oh, those are koi in there. Okay.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
size
I've
tank
got,
is that?
That's 180 gallon.
Okay.
I have another 75 gallon, and then I emptied out my 255s and 30. So
Okay.
that's,
Awesome. Okay. Do we have anybody else? Any questions? Any comments? Anything?
Volunteers?
Yeah, any volunteers? There we go. We need volunteers. Just hopefully, Mary, you're okay with letting everybody know. Mary Erickson is going to take over the logo merchandising. So if anybody would I get some more information on t-shirts or jackets or whatever? I know Mary has some ideas that she wants to talk over with our logo person. So, but get a hold of Mary, and then hopefully when we get back to meeting, maybe she'll have something for us for the February meeting. Once you get your all set up, Mary, can you maybe shoot a thing to Jan so we can put it in the water log? Okay. Unless anybody has anything else, we'll call it a day.
All right, thank you. And thank you, Steve. It's good to see you feeling better.
Believe me, I don't know.
Very,
I don't know if anybody else caught the COVID. Almost
No.
everybody that lived at my house had caught it. Jody caught it, and we were very concerned about her. But she had an upset stomach for like 3-4 days and she was over it, but I got quite sick. I ended up getting COVID pneumonia. I kind of refused a couple doctor's orders to go to the hospital. I didn't feel I was sick enough because I was still able, even though my breathing was hard, I didn't feel I should be taking up space in a hospital that somebody who I thought was sicker than me might need. So I toughed it out at home. I did end up with going on an inhaler for a while, but I'm much better now. I'm kind of back to my same old grumpy self, as my daughter tells me. So, but yeah, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I'll tell you what, folks, that was not good. That was not fun. So hopefully everybody has stayed safe and nobody else has caught it. So yes. All right.
Steve, this is Jerry. Will you
Yes.
need an email asking for volunteers?
Yeah, maybe you and I could sit down, put that together, and then we'll send it
Okay.
out. Because we
Okay.
we had almost 34 people today. So, but we
Mhm.
should get it out to the other members, and hopefully they'll read their emails. We'll get.
Post it on the
I'll put
website,
it. I'm
please.
going to put it in. I will be putting it in the president's pad for
Okay.
February. So it'll go out in the February newsletter. So
Well, it's good to have it more than one place.
true enough. True enough. All right.
This is Mary Erickson.
Yes, Mary.
Yeah, hey, I will contact Jan and I'll give her some information.
Okay, that'd be great. Yeah. Were you
Thank you,
able to
Mary.
open up that attachment that I forwarded to you
Yeah.
from Star?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. And then I'm sure you'll be getting hold of the lady's name who does the
Her name is Sheila.
Sheila. Thank you.
Well, her info was on there. I will contact her this week.
Okay, sounds really well. I'm hoping the state fair gets back to me sometime this week. I did leave the gentleman 3 voicemails, so hopefully he'll call me back. Marty's in contact with Bachman's, and hopefully they'll get back to him to let us know when they are going to reopen the Heritage Room. But I'm not sure. Does anybody know what the capacity of the Heritage Room is? Because it's, as of right now, the Minnesota guidelines, it would be 25% of the capacity. So maybe Marty can find out what the capacity of that Heritage Room is. But I'll be
Because I
honest.
know we had over 50 or 60 people would attend, so that probably is pretty good sized room, so you'd have to cut that down.
Right. So even
Yeah.
if the capacity is
I
100
would
people.
think,
Go
Steve,
ahead,
I think
Marty.
it's 100 people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at 100
I think
people, right now the guideline is 25%. So we'd only be able to have 25 people.
Right.
So like we discussed at the board meeting, I think I'll get a hold of the February speaker, let him know we will be doing Zoom. I think until they kind of release or widen the parameters as to what we can have at meetings, I think we might want to continue. I'll be honest, myself, after going through COVID, until they get a lot more people vaccinated, I don't even know if I want to be in a room with, even with 25 people at this point. Not to
No.
say that anybody would show up if they were sick, but
Steve,
with
I'm a
COVID.
nurse. and
Yes, Sarah.
I'm a nurse, and I can tell you, it is rampant, and it's not something to mess with.
No, it's not. I've had it, and it's not something to be messed with.
No.
And let's face it, the majority of our members are older folks. Is that how you say politically correct?
Senior
version of-
citizens.
Seniors, yes, they're the more senior citizens. So if somebody would have it and not know it and pass it to anybody,
And then we have that more virulent strain now that's
Yeah.
going through.
The South African and the
And,
Britain one. So
if you have any other health issues such as asthma or diabetes or any type of heart condition, you are at higher risk than anybody else.
Right.
And even if you don't have any of those conditions, if you should have to go into the ICU and be ventilated, your chances of developing other health issues is greatly increased. I can't tell you the number of people that have come through who did not have any heart conditions, who did not have any neurological conditions or anything, and then ended up with those conditions afterward. And
exactly.
repeatedly coming back into the hospital for various illnesses related to the COVID and ending up back on the ventilator. So,
You know, I know my doctor with getting the COVID pneumonia. I have what's called factor V Leiden mutation. So what that basically is my family is very prone to blood clots. So one of the biggest things that they were worried about me when I was forming a blood clot and going
In your lungs.
into my lungs. So yeah, so I mean, there's so many things that they still don't know about this virus until I think the vaccine is widespread, until they say, okay, we're going to open up to 100% capacity. I think we need to stay with the Zoom meetings, not only for my safety, but for everybody else's. I know we love to get together. I love those meetings. They're a lot of fun, but I want everybody, I don't want anybody to go through what I did. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't want anybody else to suffer what I suffered. So I think we're going to stick with Zoom February. We'll readdress it at the February board meeting. If the vaccine isn't still being widely distributed, we'll look at March being a Zoom meeting also. So
they're talking about June maybe before most of them are going to be. So it's going to be a while.
Well,
yeah.
I know we plan on having the spring picnic. The Roseville City Hall won't even take our reservation until late March, if they take it at all. So we might have to find a new venue for our spring picnic. So things are, as long as everybody's still willing to be flexible, I think we're doing okay. We are going to have a spring sale, so we'll bring some money into our coffers. I really would like us to have a pond tour as long as it can be done safely. You know, outside, you know, we'll just make sure everybody's spread out. Mel's got 2 acres, so we can all go up and be 12 feet apart, and I don't think we could fill up her 2 acres. My backyard is fairly large. I think at one point I counted over 100 people in my backyard. So, but I don't know. Gary has a fairly good sized backyard. So, but we need to find a pond tour coordinator so they can get these coordinated. So start talking to your friends. If you don't want to do it, we need somebody to start strong arming some other people in the club. We will get out an email. It will be in the February water log.
It's on the website.
It's on the website. Maybe we even get Ann to put it on our Facebook page that, hey, we're looking for a pond tour coordinator. There we go, Ann. I got a thumbs up from Ann. Dick went outside. He's up probably in the pool by now. All right, folks. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Unless anybody has any other questions.
Nice to see everybody.
There, I will get this posted up to the web YouTube web channel, the Minnesota Water Garden Society. You have to spell it all the way out. We can't abbreviate on the YouTube. I will have Tamara's presentation and our meeting. Yeah, it's me bouncing. I'm hitting my little TV tray that I have my computer on my lap.
Ah.
All right.
He keeps moving around.
Nice to see people. This is my second meeting, so you know half of mine have been Zoom.
Okay, well, thank you, James, for joining. Thanks for joining. Glad to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we joined a year ago and we're like, yay. And then so
Yeah,
looking forward to actually seeing you people a second time.
yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
Even if it's not in person, it's nice seeing you.
It was
Yes.
nice to recognize, go, wait, I know you. I know you. Okay, so, and we've done the
Yeah.
tour a couple of times.
Oh,
Awesome. Is that why you joined the Water Garden Society, through the tour?
Yeah, well, we bought a house and the snow melted. And we found out we had a pond.
wow.
And we
Awesome.
went on the tour and we went, this can be better. And then we went on the tour again. We thought we should join the society, and we did. And then last January or February, we went to a meeting and we're like, oh, this is neat. And then COVID hit. And
Yeah.
and
Sure.
then we're like, oh, there's one. I'm like, I'm going.
So, James, is it a real pond or was it from the snow melt?
No, it's a real pond.
Okay.
It wasn't in the disclosure or anything.
Wow.
Karen walked into the backyard and she goes, we have a pond. I'm like, yes.
Well,
A
if you,
surprise.
if
I
you
always
need
wanted one.
if you need
Huh.
fish, get a hold of Marty.
No,
He's in the
oh,
directory.
we know Marty. Actually,
Okay.
we bought some fish, and then we had goldfish, and the goldfish, we played a little berry white, and we had lots of goldfish. So
Well.
we brought him some of the koi. And then because we joined the society, he said, well, we can get credit for more koi. And we thought, okay. And then, well, everything went down.
Right.
So maybe this year we'll get some more koi.
Well, if you need some more plants, come see us Mother's Day weekend. It's going to be at the State Fairgrounds.
That's on our, I've already been working on actually a little upper koi pond thing to put plants in, and
Okay.
it's developing.
Good.
Awesome. Well, you know what? We have over 400 members. If you want 400 different ideas on how to do that additional pond, just ask. You'll get 400 different
Okay.
ideas.
Mhm.
And then I'll do what Karen says.
Oh, there you go.
I'm in the process of building a koi pond in my backyard, and
Okay.
have planned to put a pagoda over the top of it. But I'm going to need some help with that.
Ooh. I'm sure if you put out the word, get a hold of Jerry. Jerry is our email person. If you put together a call for help, she can send it out to all of our members, and you can have a gazebo building weekend at your house.
Sounds like a plan to me.
We have a lot of great volunteers, so. And also, you might want to get a hold of Alan. I know he has a koi pond. Gary DeGrand also has a koi pond. Oh, mention the pond pell. Yes.
Pond pell.
Sorry about that, Sonny. I forgot. You should have said something to me. We could mention that. We'll talk about that at the February meeting, Gary. How's that sound? Gary can only type to us.
Waterlog.
Yeah. Oh, the Pond Pal program. Yes, we do have a
Right.
Pond Pal program. I forgot about that. Norma, is Norma still here? Norma, aren't you in charge of
Yes.
the Pond Pal program?
I am.
Maybe you might kind of make chit chat about that for a couple minutes to some of our new members, Sarah and James.
Well, with COVID, we're not doing so much trips to people's ponds, but we did gather a group of different members that have kind of a special interest in specific areas like plants or construction or whatever. And if you let me know, I can refer you to those people, and then they can advise on a specific problem that you might be having.
It was very helpful for me.
Okay. Norma's last name is Hustede, H-U-E.
HUSTEDDE.
And she is in the directory. So if you have a directory, if you don't have a directory, get a hold of Jerry. We do have a central email. It's MWGS2020@gmail.com. That does come to me, but if you have, you need to get a hold of somebody like Norma or Jerry, email me at the MWGS2020@gmail.com, and I can pass along your information, and they can get a hold of you and either get you a new directory or get you in, close to whoever you need. Somebody else is chatting to me.
Is that in the water log?
It'd
Pardon
be in
me?
the water log too.
Yes, it
Yeah,
would be in the
okay.
water line.
Should be on the
Gary,
website
yeah.
too, isn't it?
It should be on the website, yes. Marla?
Yes.
Okay, Marla says yes.
What are you looking for?
Somebody's
Pond
chatting to me.
Pals.
Riverfall, yeah, the Pond Pals program and the MWGS at gmail.com should be on the website, which is mwgs.org. If you don't know what the
I think we
website
took
is.
the pond pals off. I'll
Oh,
check,
did we?
though.
Okay.
I think so,
No.
but
It should be on there.
We should probably get that back up on there then, Marla.
Yeah.
Mel is in River Falls. And apparently, Gary, you were her pond pal. I did not know that. So there you go. So yeah, we do have 5 or 6 people that are willing to, if you have questions pertaining to pumps, building water fountain, gazebos. I don't know if we have anybody who knows anything about gazebos, but I'm sure we can all wing it.
Not specific.
Not specific, but we have
Well,
Marty
it's not
for our
really a
fish,
gazebo, but a pagoda.
and we have Jan for our plants, and for our plants. So, yes.
Bill,
All right.
most people that want to, that's a big job.
What's a big job, Jerry?
For a pond. I know. Mhm.
Okay. Well, with that, everybody be safe, be healthy, and we'll, if I don't talk to you before February's meeting, we'll talk to you in February. All right.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Good
Have
to
a
see
day.
everyone.